Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I am Cortensia Carty. Jamie, do you want to do the honors? Oh my
God. Let's see, it's Friday. Is that what we want to do? No, it's not what we want to do. It is our 300th episode. So we are glad to be celebrating episode 300. We're even more happy that you are with us this morning for that. So thank you for joining us for Good Morning SKN. Today we proceed now to the latest in local news. This from SKNIS. The Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis and Minister of National Security, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, joined other regional heads for the Regional Security Systems RSS Council of Ministers meeting in Grenada on Wednesday, March 22nd. The Prime Minister was accompanied by the Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, Ms. Cecile Hull, Commissioner of Police, Mr. James Sutton, and Commander of St. Kitts and Nevis Defence Force, Lieutenant Colonel J. Anthony Comrie. The one-day meeting provided a platform for regional leaders to exchange ideas and discuss best practices for enhancing regional security. The regional heads discussed the importance of addressing the current challenges, such as illegal arms trade, drug trafficking, and intelligence gathering, while reasserting their commitment to strengthening collaborations. During the opening ceremony, the Honourable Dickon Mitchell, Chairman of the RSS Council of Ministers, Prime Minister of Grenada et al., said, quote, "The RSS continues to provide significant value to regional security. Reflecting on the work of the regional security system, I'm immensely proud of the organization's record of accomplishments and its ability to pivot and adapt in response to converging threats." End quote.
Spotlight on ECTEL's Board of Directors first female chairperson. This story comes by way of SKNIS. The Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, ECTEL, is shining the spotlight on its first female chairperson for the Board of Directors, Ms. Shaniqua Carey Brown of St. Kitts and Nevis. Chairperson Carey Brown was appointed to the board in October 2022 and has since skillfully guided the board in providing oversight of the electronic communications regulatory system in ECTEL member states via virtual meetings. On the 9th March 2023, she chaired the 94th meeting of ECTEL Board of Directors, the first in-person meeting since 2019, which was held in St. Lucia. According to Chairperson Carey Brown, as the first female in position, it is a significant honor to lead the board as we pivot towards a regulatory framework to support the digital transformation agenda of the ECTEL member state.
Well, congratulations to Shaniqua on that accomplishment. In other news from SKNIS, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure and the St. Kitts Water Services Department held 2 successful open days at the Great Water Treatment Farm from March 20th to 21st, 2023. The open days were part of the week of activities held by the Water Services Department to celebrate World Water Day 2023 under the theme Accelerating Change. Water engineer at the St. Kitts Water Services Department, Armel Williams, said, quote, "Monday and Tuesday were an opportunity for the general public, but in particular primary and secondary school students, to get to learn about how water is distributed to the greater public. Approximately 16 schools attended the open days from across the Federation, and we provided them with literature on how they can conserve water at their homes and in their community." End quote. Minister of Public Infrastructure and Utilities et al., the Honourable Conrus Maynard, during his World Water Day speech explained that accelerating change is to increase the rate of change and that the Federation should not only be making changes in relation to how water is governed, but needs to step up its pace.
Gotta conserve the water. Every time I look around, there's something about water, so we have to do something to conserve our water.
Definitely true.
Now for the weather forecast, it is mostly sunny with a high of 79 and a low of 67 degrees Fahrenheit. It's currently 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Jinkies. Now take a look at your hourly and the remainder of your weekend weather and see you after this short break.
That's it.
An exotic experience.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
Thank you for joining us on our 300th episode. It's now time for regional news. This from Loop Caribbean. Dr. Indira Hari has been a mental professor professional for over 10 years now. First beginning her career in the psychiatry department of the Guyana Public Hospital Corporation. Indira would stay there for 5 years before moving on to her private practice. Dr. Indira said, and quote, "While at the GPHC, I was able to see the full spectrum of mental health challenges and the help that can be provided to make positive changes in people's lives. When I launched my private practice, I was able to provide more to my clients through therapy," end quote. Through her audiovisual project, Unbox, Indira hopes to contribute towards reducing the stigma that surrounds mental illness, she said, and quote, "By accepting and understanding that it is not a disease that we should be shaming people for or making them feel bad about. It is a chronic and recurrent illness, lifelong and often filled with relapses. We always encourage people to get help if they have diabetes or hypertension. But when it comes to mental health, there is a lot of stigma around it. People need to understand that psychiatry and mental health are so much broader than they think and can start from things as simple as stress. It is time to progress and open understanding about what mental health is," end quote. Unbox is an idea she was playing around with since before the pandemic hit, but which began during the height of its effects. Episodes focus on issues such as financial challenges, relationships, and abuse.
And in international news, this from ABC News. The ground crackled as Guillermo Coutinho walked across dry farmland that should be green and lush this time of year. He grabbed a soy plant and easily disintegrated its leaves with his hands. The agricultural engineer said this week at the farm where he works in Urquiza, a town about 230 kilometers from Argentina's capital, said, quote, "This year's drought was extreme. Coutinho normally has a policy of not walking on cultivated land, but everything was so dry that there was absolutely nothing to damage. Even the weeds aren't growing." The scene is repeated in farms across Argentina, where harvesting should be in full swing, but months of dry weather have ruined it. Farmers are scrambling to make ends meet, and a sharp drop in expected revenue from exported farm products will deal a severe blow to Argentina's shaky economy. Farmer Martin Sturla said, standing in the middle of his dusty fields in nearby San Antonio de Arezzo, quote, "This drought is unprecedented. It's dantesque. No one has seen anything like it," end quote. The situation is particularly dire because Argentina had already been suffering 2 years of unusually dry weather.
Wow.
This is very alarming.
Yeah, and it's sad that we have the quote that we never miss the water till the water runs dry. So we really have to conserve, we really have to be part of climate change, we really have to help the situation.
Definitely so. Well, there you have it for the latest for today. We'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. See you then.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Good morning, SKN. Wagwan. Yo, this is Bensley Lad coming to you live from Jamaica. You see it, go already. See me. See me, I say Caribbean people stand up and I love this. This show is very important. You understand me? Yeah, man. Studio 327. Bensley Lad, a big up. See me, I say. I'm the whole innocent crew. Yeah, man. More love.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
One marketing blunder can make or break any brand these days. Competition is fierce and it is a brand. Wait, no, I said that wrong. Competition is fierce, and if a brand does not or accidentally does not appear to align with the customer's value, there could be major consequences. In this segment, we'll be going through 7 of the worst marketing fails in history by brand. Wow. So advertising and being cautious while advertising can make or break your product or your company.
Yeah. Messaging is extremely important. It's an art, to be honest with you.
Why does marketing executives have a tough job? sit down to come up with whatever and to ensure that it is customer sensitive, not offending anybody, and to ensure that it also sells what they're selling.
And I think that is the driving force, that last thing that you said. How you communicate that your product is good to consumers.
Yep.
And even if it's not good, how do you create that buy-in? Because there's some products really that aren't good. Yeah. But their marketing is so on point that you're just convinced that it's a great thing to have, right? And that's the truth. We all know it.
What have you bought without saying a name that is not good? You can say like a food product or...
I don't know that I'm not really... Okay. It's weird to say. Yeah, I'm very discriminating when it comes to what I buy, so... Yeah.
Because there's a certain brand of shoes, although it's expensive and on top and bougie, it matches up your toes. And you eventually have to take surgery, and it gives you bunny ears and everything, but it's the hottest shoe in town.
And that's great because the marketing did not fail, unlike these things
it didn't fail at all.
Going to look at.
But it's just funny to see how, as you said, it may not be the best thing for you, but everybody wants one. So we'll begin with Pepsi, the Kendall-Jenner protest. Although, as per Pepsi, the purpose of the advertisement was to show Pepsi as a unifying tool for different people, the audience did not feel the same. There was a lot of outrage regarding the advertisement, which was finally pulled back by the company.
We actually got a glimpse of that video a little while ago, and apparently it was staged as a riot, precisely. That, yes, Kendall Jenner basically brought peace when she brought a Pepsi, so Pepsi unites the world.
So I guess once the police pulled back, the rioters just decided it's not worth it. Because I think the police normally hype up the rioters, you know.
You think so?
I think so. I think
once they really think that?
I think once they see the police, they get extra. This is like, we're not afraid of you. We're standing up for rights, and we're going to show you something today. I find that every time I will watch something that has a riot, it's like, do you see how they push back those police? Do you see? It's like they're not aware that their life is at stake.
I don't think anybody should be aggressive. Sorry, but
exactly.
Where police are concerned, and that's alarming to me because their very presence should indicate that you step back.
Exactly, and respect them. But they're fighting for their rights, y'all. They are fighting for their rights.
So apparently this was a marketing fail.
Marketing fail. Didn't went over too well. Nope. I wonder if it's because the police was drinking on the job. Or if it's because of what it stood for. I'm just saying. It wasn't alcohol, guys. You see, he had Pepsi, but the fact he should be like stoic, ready for.
Imagine that.
Yeah, no Pepsi on the job.
Well, that was number one. We're heading to number two. And again, there are 7 such marketing fails. So we're going to go to Ford and that wonderful poster, Figo India poster. In 2013, Ford launched a poster campaign in India for its Figo car. It was produced by JWT India and focused on the larger trunk capacity of the vehicle. The tagline was, "Leave your worries behind with Figo's extra-large boot or trunk." And that actually failed? I like it, though.
Ooh. Ooh, I figured, I thought about that, I thought it could have been, I figured the trunk was big enough to hold people in it. Ooh, look at my mind.
But it's not just that the trunk is big enough to hold people in it. It's that there were actually people being displayed as being held in the trunk against their will.
Yeah.
So this car is really good for...
And is it persons of other car companies? Are you realizing that?
Well, I don't know. I see race car drive. I see.
Yeah, so maybe they don't drive Ford, so they're holding them hostage. I think that's what it is. They don't drive Ford.
This is so very interesting.
And look at the driver's face.
Leave your worries behind.
Leave them behind.
All right, interesting.
One of those drivers is, well, one looked like Lewis Hamilton, and the next one looked like Dale Earnhardt Jr. So Lewis Hamilton is the one in white. Funny, yeah.
And moving on to number 3.
So Sony PSP white poster. In 2006, Sony launched a printed ad in the Netherlands to promote its white-colored PlayStation Portable. The tagline was PlayStation Portable, white is coming. Ooh, no. The poster showed a massive white woman with aggressive expression tightly holding the face of a black woman who looks scared. This was called a racist ad and was criticized a lot. Since I got to the part with the white is coming, I already knew where it was going. And sometimes, although we don't meet, anyways, I can't say. I'm not behind the ad. But we have to be mindful. We live in a world where people have feelings, people have been enslaved, people are still treating people like they're enslaved, so we really have to be conscious about what we're putting out there.
But this is interesting to me, and I say that because typically when we have these discussions, the shoe is on the other foot. Technically, the black person would be portrayed as the aggressor, and the white generally would be portrayed as the victim, or the person likely causing harm. This is interesting to me because I don't know why I can see why it's offensive. If I were looking at the picture alone, probably not so much, but the wording with the picture is what makes it offensive. It's like, is this the dawn of a new era of slavery?
They could have done better because the PlayStation was black and then it turned into white, and we get all of that. But you can't advertise something like that, because that sends me back to, you're my slave and you'll do what I say. And that's what that picture, that's a message that picture is giving to me.
So, right, so the picture itself does that. Well, the whole thing together gives you that message.
Yeah.
If they were both facing forward, if they were both smiling or looking aggressive, that could have actually worked.
Yes.
It's
or the black versus white, even that, because we know PlayStation was black, and now they're coming bougie and making it a different color, like my pants. So yeah.
Well, I suppose we should stay away from black and white. I guess that's the message there. Right?
But that worked for us. They should actually see that black and white go well together from the vintage television.
They tried it.
But
it's
in
just
the
that it was a
wrong
fail.
context. Hot fail.
They tried it.
Mess.
They tried it. There was contact. They were looking at each other. It was, something
just
was.
Came out wrong.
It really did come out wrong there.
Yeah, wrong.com.
That is unfortunate.
Wrong. Yeah.
All right, we are moving on up the list, and we're not going to the east side, although technically we are on the East Coast. Okay, Adidas Boston Marathon email. Adidas was the sponsor of the 121st annual race in Boston named Adidas Boston Marathon. A congratulations email was sent to all the marathon finishers. The subject of the email read, "Congrats, you survived the Boston Marathon." Well, I suppose that this could be traumatic after, we know what happened at the Boston Marathon some years ago.
Not cool.
But this, I don't know why, you know what?
They didn't mean it like that.
I get it.
But it came out like that.
Yeah,
I would like to think so. Yeah.
It would be insensitive.
Yeah.
I know what they mean. It's like you
made it.
What's a quick way to say that? You survived. You completed it. I guess completed
would have been better. Not you survived. Yeah. Words, and we just mentioned words. You are correct. Completed. You completed the Boston Marathon. Congratulations. Now you survived it. Some people didn't survive when they have a bad thing. Yeah.
Precisely. And so it
wow.
Seems to come from a place of insensitivity.
We really have to be mindful of what we say. Like I heard somebody say the other day, when people say I love you to death. First he said, no, don't say you love me to death, say you love me to life, so I can get more life in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we don't realize...
I love you until you die. That's what it means.
No, the expression.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what I interpret it to be.
No, but she said, well, she didn't interpret it like that.
I realize
she was like, no, love me to life, please. Don't love me to death.
Wow. Interesting stuff.
Yeah. Words mean different things to people, folks, as we would have noticed. So we have to be mindful.
And we continue to move on up that list.
So Airbnb, floating world email. On August the 20th, 2017, Airbnb sent out an email to its subscribers. It was themed floating homes, waterfall slides, and more reasons to travel. Also, the email said, stay above water. Live the life aquatic with these floating. Live the life or live the aquatic life? Okay, live the life aquatic with these floating homes. The campaign was launched when Hurricane Harvey was still causing mass destruction in Houston, Texas. Yeah. The post came on the significant fire for appearing insensitive or making light of people's suffering. Yeah. No. They meant well, but
it was just ill-timed. And I suppose if you have those ads in the pipeline,
hold them back.
Exactly. There's perhaps some costs to it, but I suppose the social cost is going to be more detrimental than
exactly. And
financial one.
Yeah, we see how social media is.
Stay above water. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Indeed. Some of us not so fortunate to do so, but hey.
Get a life jacket.
All right, and we're continuing with Dove. The racist Facebook campaign? Let's take a look. In 2017, Dove landed into controversy owing to its Facebook ad. It was a 4-panel image that had a black woman wearing a dark-colored t-shirt in the first 2 panels. However, as the woman removes her t-shirt, a white woman in light-colored t-shirt comes out.
So what? We still fighting, boy. So Dove washes you that clean. Is that what they're trying to say? No, it's not coming out good, boy.
Dove, I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't want to get it. And I think that they didn't get it, which is why we're talking about it. It's unfortunate.
Trying to tell me my brown color is bad?
It's just, wow. I don't, it's weird. It's just wrong. It's weird, isn't it?
Very weird.
Like, how do you do that and think that that's good marketing?
Yeah.
You're washing away the black? What are you doing? I don't get it.
No, the brown.
You say brown, I see black. I see black and white.
Washing away the brown. Is Dove trying to sell us bleaching products?
Okay, here's the thing. This is a disconnect for me because I see that they're trying to integrate. So we've got, you know, a black woman. We've got a white woman, obviously of similar age. You're getting that vibe that they really just want to show that it's a product that's universal.
Yeah.
But the way that they've done it is just
problematic.
It is problematic. It just doesn't make me feel good. I don't feel like I should be using Dove. If you know, it's just yeah.
I mean, I would be scared because if it's gonna turn me that color, no, I'm proud to be brown. So yeah.
But you see, here's the question: because are we misunderstanding? Because if you look at the top slide by itself, you'd appreciate that she's getting ready to shower, so it's good for her. If you look at the bottom slide by itself, it's the same thing. She's getting ready to shower, it's good for her. I think we wouldn't be talking about it if they continued with all 4 images with the same person. Yeah. Because it was showing that it's good for everyone. But when we look at it together like that, it just looks like you start off black. And when you use, although she hasn't used it yet, so that's not even fair to say, because she's still clothed. So I could understand why they thought to some degree it would be okay. Maybe somebody made a mistake in putting it together the way that they did.
But aren't there people to look at these things and maybe get a few persons in and do a social experiment before they put it on the scene?
I'm sure, but like I said, sometimes it's, if I were to isolate those images, it's not going to be offensive to me.
No, it wouldn't. But the fact that it ends up the way,
and so it seems like there's something wrong with it. Although the woman hasn't showered yet either. If you're looking at it objectively, you'd realize that she's not going to shower with her t-shirt on.
No.
She just had on an additional layer. So, there's something disconnected here. But
very much so.
I can understand why they might have thought it was not going to be offensive.
It offended some people, y'all. That's why it's on this list right now. I cannot say this enough. We have to be mindful. We have to do social experiments before we put things out in the big wide world. Because once they're out there, they're never lost. You're tucked away in a pocket, and then one day when you're going along your business, minding your own business, it comes out and it haunts you.
You see me smiling? You tell me this now that I've already consented to being host of Good Morning SKN. Now you tell me that? Wow. Thank you for attention.
What are they going to pull out their pockets? Absolutely nothing. We have no dirty laundry. All our clothes are clean. We can attest to that. Some of us have mountains, some of us don't.
This is where I stop talking. We're going. we're moving up the list.
So McDonald's ran an ad that showed a woman crying in the style of anti-suicide public awareness initiatives. Wow. Only its ad read, "You're not alone. Millions of people love Big Mac," revealing that the woman is actually crying because she desperately wants a hamburger. The phone number in the bottom right-hand corner leads to McDonald's corporate office.
Okay, why is this offensive?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Why is this offensive?
Because maybe they're making. Okay, let's look at it from this angle. Maybe they feel that they're making fun of the homeless.
No, no.
But then the fact that it leads to the office, that means they're might offer you a job.
You know what it is? Somebody saw this and said, this is in the style of an I want to quote it, anti-suicide public awareness initiative. And so they got offended by that.
So it's a play on a suicide.
Well, that's how they interpreted it, but I'm pretty sure that the ad execs at McDonald's didn't see that. They saw, you know what, you're depressed because, you know, you don't have a community or whatever. Don't worry, let's unite over McDonald's. Millions of people love a Big Mac, so we'll come together over that. You're part of a community. It's.
I get that. I get what you're saying. It can be that, but then it didn't come off like that.
Well, because it seems like it exploits to some degree people's feelings concerning suicide, etc. Oh my gosh, this is a grueling segment because I appreciate creativity.
Yep.
And I also appreciate that you really never know how people are going to respond to it sometimes, unless you throw it out there. And so once you throw it out there, it's too late to pull it back. And once you pull it back, you get, you're pulling it back obviously because I said it's too late to pull it back, meaning other people have seen it. Once
they've seen it.
You've gotten branded, even though you pull it back.
That's why I say they put it in the pocket until, because look at persons that run for offices, mostly in the U.S. Because it doesn't really happen down here. You may have a little bit, but in the U.S., I'm going to use them as an example. Do you see how they go and look back in the person in school, that the person smoked weed or the person had a stint with coke? Like, come on. So you see, they hide it away in the pocket, and then they bring it back out. Look at our poor former president. They bring back out a whole star on him.
Your poor former president? Which one?
The former one. We don't call his name.
Oh, he's a poor guy. I thought he was rich. That's what I thought. I was confused for a second.
Yeah, but you see, they just practice away and then just pull it back out of the pocket.
It's just telling, right? That when you're marketing, you've got to be so careful about your messaging. Messaging is important. And you also have to be responsive to the public. So apparently these were the biggest marketing failures of all time. Fortunately, we didn't touch on what I would consider to be marketing failures here in St. Kitts and Nevis. In any event, thankfully, I'm no longer tone deaf, really. So that's a hint for you. We'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN.
Well, I was just about to ask about one of the failures.
Oh, no way. No, you're not going to get me to say that. We're going to commercial. We'll be back in a moment.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band, and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Well, if you've ever wished that someone would tell you more about your eyes, that moment has arrived. There's an old saying that the eyes are the windows to the soul. And we can learn a lot about people by observing their eye behavior. Particularly, we can discover their hidden emotions. Here's what studies have proven about some common eye movements. And I came across this some years ago, and I figure that some people have been using it. And I use it when I remember. So you're going to jog my memory today. I'm going to jog yours. But I'll tell you this much. If you want to find out, based on eye movements, whether somebody is lying to you, pay attention. We're going to get there soon. So, the upper left eye movement. When you are talking to someone and the person's eyes move to the upper left, it means that they are visualizing what you are saying. So they are creating that image. They're visualizing what you were saying. Now, if I were to turn her around, is she looking to the left or the right?
I think she'll still be looking to the left.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my left, that's her right.
But then, in the whole context of the situation, she should be looking left.
So it's your left. Okay, I get it now. So it's, is it? I don't even know anymore.
That's
I'm
what
confused.
they said.
In any event, you're not going to be confused because you're going to get sorted out. Leave the confusion to me, all right? But clearly, that's the direction in which she's well, again, when you were talking to someone and the person's eyes move to the upper left, their upper left? Their upper left.
Has to be their upper left.
There you go. So she's looking in the wrong direction. Sorry. We're going to use her again.
This is
it means
the upper.
that they are
This
visualizing.
So this is
Pretend say your left is this way. If I were to turn her around, that would be her right.
Yeah, but it's...
So it's not her
It's
left.
your left
it's
eye
my
that's
left.
up. Okay. All right.
Do you understand or do you not understand?
Yeah. But I'm just figuring it's my left eye. I just put it in the corner and it looks like it's now on the right, but it's my left eye that is, analyzing the situation.
Oh, really?
You get it, right? Yeah. Because it's left, right?
No, the person's eyes move, not the left eye moves. The person's eyes, both of them, move to the upper left.
So this is my left eye, right? So if I move my eyes to the upper left, it's up here. But then it kind of slightly went over to the right. Yeah. It's a lot of things with these eyes, you know? Yes. But I get it. I was just, I'm just technical and I like to dive into things and,
Yeah, but I'm like directional. So you know what? Just work with me, okay? They're left.
Please do.
They're left. You're good. All right. So we're moving on.
So the upper right eye movement. If you ask someone to dig into their memory, they visualize the episodes or that certain nuance. When they do that, their eyes turn to the right but upward. So upward. Let me not confuse my eyes, right? Because then I'll get a head turn and I don't have to turn around.
It's interesting because she's looking at her left now. She's looking to her left now, which is our right.
Yeah.
So is it our perspective? I need guidance here. Is it our perspective? I don't know that it is. Is it?
No, it's theirs.
I don't know.
Because remember,
anymore.
she's the one moving the eyes. We're talking. We're not moving our eyes as much as she is.
But she's looking at the left.
From where we look at it, but technically she's looking at the right.
Whose right is she looking at? What are you talking about?
All right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you are giving me the story, right? So my eyes go up like, what? So it's my eyes, it's not your eyes. Listen, I'm done with the eye argument before I end up in the eye court. Yeah. I'm done. I give up.
All right. Yeah. Hey, let's go. We're just going to have some fun today. We're having fun. You get it, right? You try it out. You know what works with you. All right. So, to the left in the center. To the left, but not the far left. Is that where we're going with it? So, center, not up or down, but to the left in the center. Okay. Now that I've got that, when you try to identify sounds not heard before, your eyes turn to the left center, also known as an auditory construction. This is the direction in which your eyes move. So it's about perceiving sound that I haven't heard before or you haven't heard before.
So you look around like, what? But it goes in the center. I need a mirror to watch my eyes do all these things. Yeah.
To the left in the center.
Yeah. The directions.
I wonder where Beyonce was looking when she said, never mind,
left.
we're moving on. Leave Beyonce out of this. We're continuing.
She was looking left, but she was pointing left, but she was looking right at the fella, like, get out of my place.
Depends on your perspective. We are moving
Didn't I
on.
just say I'm done with the eye court? Oh my gosh, I don't want to go to the eye court.
And we are moving on. What do my eyes say? Do they say that I want to move on? Can I wink? Do you know
No.
that? All right.
Okay, so towards the right, but in the center. So towards the left in the center, then the right in the center, then the eye moves around. Okay, so this means you are remembering some sound. You are connecting a sound you have heard before. The person is thinking about a voice or a sound they have heard in the past. So to the right in the center, like, dun, 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 jinkies. Yeah, yeah, okay.
So you've got all these different eye movements. Left in the center, right in the center, upper left. Yeah, okay, well, we've been upper. We're going to go lower right now. Almost sounds like a dance move, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So move your right eye in, move your right eye out, move your right eye in, and you shake it all about. Then you put it in the middle, in the upper corner, left and right. That's what it's all about.
I'm going to cover my eyes so you don't know what I'm thinking right now. Can I do that? Can I wear shades? I understand now why people wear shades indoors. I get it. It's not because you're blind. It's
because you don't want people to see your eye movements.
Well, either that or it's fashionable, but more fashionable.
Yeah. Or maybe you're high.
And we are continuing. All right, so now we're getting lower. Going low here. Lowered eyes, but towards the left. I think I do this a lot. So when someone is asked to reminisce a certain taste, smell, or a feeling, a feeling that comes to you, or a feeling, he or she lowers the eyes towards the left side.
And that actually just happened to me, because I was thinking about this pastry that I used to get in Puerto Rico back in my days that was filled with cream cheese and the strawberry filling. Okay, back to center.
Thankfully. Well, no, we're lower, so maybe we're going lower. I don't know where we're going anymore. I'm just going to follow it. I'm working with it here, all right? Remember I said you have to pay attention for when you, to figure out if somebody's lying to you. We're getting there. We're getting warmer, right? So pay attention.
Oh, so lower the eyes towards the right side. Recalling a past experience, your eyes tend to lower but move towards the right side. When someone is doing this, they are digging into their past and reliving. Yes, like the pastries. Yeah, reliving the moment. Yeah. Man, I'm suddenly hungry. Yeah.
So effectively, based on the example that you just presented, you could actually be doing both at the same time. Just kidding. You talked about pastry. So you've got your eyes going in
right
two directions.
Left, yeah. Because I relived, I'm thinking about the food, and then I relived the moment.
So
and it worked. You realize, right?
Guys, tell me if Cortense's eyes did this, okay? I need to visualize. Here, can you do that? Did Cortense's eyes do this? Did they do that?
Like
or did they just do that?
And then I was like that.
I think they didn't do that, right? They didn't do that, so. All right. Now we're moving on. We are moving on. Okay. The direct look. Looking straight ahead. What does it mean? So here you have to watch their pupils. If it is dialed, if it's dilated, when I say dial, you're going to dial pupils? Hello, pupil, pick up the phone. All right, here you have to watch their pupils. It might need to be adjusted. If they are dilated, then they are basically not present with you. They are busy thinking, accessing information, concentrating, and trying to reach the memory panel in your head fast.
Wow.
Really? So they're not with you?
No.
So they're looking through you? Sort of, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're
hoping
there,
but hoping they can see through you, like.
Because I'm not really paying attention. Is that what it is? Interesting.
That's what it sounds like. But what does a dilated pupil look like? Is it wider? Is it smaller? I want to know.
It's dilated.
Yeah, but so it's bigger. No.
There you go.
Okay. See? Wow. Do I have dilated pupils right now?
I can't tell. Everything looks the same.
Oh my gosh. But to Jamie, another person could be wearing contacts, you know. So it appears a little bigger. Who knows? There's me and my thinking again.
Tell me what, oh wow, you're actually focusing. You're zeroing in. Wow. The things that happen
my
here.
pupils dilated. Dun, dun,
The things that happen
here. Are they? Oh, what fun. Yes. So looking side to side, timid or lying. Instead of maintaining direct visual contact, they escape your gaze by looking to the sides. Yeah, that's what they normally say when people can't look at you straight in the eye.
That they're shy?
That they're shy, but maybe it's a lie.
No, it's not a real lie. It's not a real
I
lie.
just had to play on that. Guys, don't take me seriously. I just had to play on the rhyme, yeah.
Not everybody's comfortable with direct contact.
Yeah.
I think direct eye contact is great. Landed me a job or two. Just focus. And now I understand why, because when I speak and I'm looking directly at my interviewer, they go, you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
I can trust you. Great.
Although some people are good at doing that, but maybe they are not telling the truth. How about that? Remember, they got those people that are good at everything, including making people believe a lie.
There are people who are good at making people believe a lie. Wow. Sounds really interesting.
Even when we watch those movies on TV.
I'm kidding, I know that.
And then they come and they make you feel like they have it all and they're living downstairs by Oscar. Yeah. Grouch. In the bin.
I wonder if, okay, so we've gotten the studies, right? Is there a margin of error in these studies? I would love to look into them a little more, because I suppose that there could be, because not everybody's in control of their emotions, and so they're manifesting in different ways. Yeah. Although I could understand timidity coming forward in the last one, doesn't mean that you're lying. There's an option. There's an either or type of thing going on. So perhaps there's a margin of error, and you just need to control your gazes a little more to convey exactly what you're feeling. Yeah. If that's not the case, then you're conveying exactly what you're feeling, and now that we've given other people this information, it means that they can read you like a book.
And some people, to avoid that, they're going to put on their shades now. So now I understand why some big stars, as they call them, wear their glasses all the time. Because maybe they say, don't take no photo of me, don't take no photo of me. but I can't see the action behind the eyes. You still
Is
get a
that
photo.
your Mr. T impression? Never mind. I'm sorry I asked. We are going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to your favorite day of the week, Friday. It's Infused Friday, and you've guessed right, we have another marvelous infused water recipe for you today. Strawberry, lemon and green tea infused water. So let me introduce you to the benefits one can expect from this selection. Strawberries. These potent little packages protect your heart, increases HDL, which is good cholesterol, lower blood pressure and guard against cancer. Packed with vitamins, fiber and particularly high levels of antioxidants known as polyphenols. Strawberries are a sodium-free, fat-free, cholesterol-free and low-calorie food. The bottom line is lemons contain a high amount of vitamin C, soluble fiber and plant compounds that give them a number of health benefits. Lemons may aid weight loss and reduce your risk of heart disease, anemia, kidney stones, digestive issues and cancer. And finally, green tea contains healthy bioactive compounds. These compounds can improve brain function, increase fat burning. The antioxidants may lower the risk of some cancers, contribute to the prevention of type 2 diabetes, and assist in the prevention of cardiovascular disease, also in the protection of the brain from aging and reduce bad breath. Amazing benefits. Let's get infusing. Here are the ingredients. 1 bag of green tea, 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of hot water, 1 lemon halved, juiced and half sliced, a handful of strawberries halved, and ice cubes for serving. Directions. Place tea bag in a cup of hot water, let it steep for 5 minutes, then remove, and let it cool before pouring into a jug or pitcher. Add the remaining ingredients and let it infuse for 30 minutes before serving into a large glass filled with ice. So delightful. Add more to your H2O. Check out the Facebook page every Friday for refreshing infused water recipes.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao bango!
Alrighty, so guys, in our 300 episode, we are letting you know that it's not all about you. Listen, it is all about you, and we're grateful for you watching today. But yeah, so it is not all about you, not you, but just in life. So while the statement can come as a personal attack, is it truly the case? Oftentimes we are so wrapped up in our own worlds that we forget the world does not revolve around us. So Jamie, have you accepted this harsh truth yet, that it is not all about you?
That's a harsh truth.
It is a
I
harsh
welcome
truth.
it. I know it's not all about me. I don't want it to be all about me. Are you kidding? There's so much pressure. I don't want it.
Jamie will have to put on his shades and walk around if it becomes all about him.
No, listen, I can't stand local parlance. You know what we call people who think that things are all about them? Enough. Yeah, and we really mean that those of you who don't understand it, that we've had enough of you. That's what we mean. You are too much.
Oh, I
to
never
say it
looked
another
at it like
way,
that.
right?
You're too enough, so I had enough of you.
We really did. That's how I interpret it.
Wow.
Honestly, it's like, it's not all about me. I know that. I welcome that. As a matter of fact, I don't even want it. I don't want anything to be about me,
I want to
be
live in
honest.
peace,
Except
in harmony, and walk the road, and just, be myself.
No, and this is one of the things. It's like, I think I was told one time, I'm being perceived as wanting my way or something, and I thought, you don't get me, do you? It's not about me. It's not. I said, well, perception is what it is. You take yours. I don't want it to be. Here you know. No, you know.
Yeah, it does. and as I would have mentioned before, I've worked with persons that it has to be all about them, or else the world just stops. It doesn't make it of it anymore because it's not about them, and that's sad. Imagine you walking around with all that weight because you need everything to be all about you.
But when we say that, I think that, and you put it, you mentioned it in a professional context. When we talk about things like that, it's basically coming across like we think that these people believe it's your way or it's their way or the highway, and so they're giving off the sense that they can be very bossy, they can be very difficult to get along with. They just don't consider what other people want in the moment, etc. And so, we say labeled. You think it's all about you or whatever, it's not all about you. And reality is, you know what? Like I said, I welcome it. I know it's all about me. Guess what? Hey, I want to be on vacation right now. Can I do that? It is what it is. I'm like,
where you going? Where you going? Cats?
You know it. True story. Yeah, because you talk about sure. There have been many times when I've been like, you know what? I don't want to be up here. Hortensio, you take it. Can I sit this one out? I do it all the time. I do it all the time.
Sit out.
I do it all the time. I'm like, no.
But in that sense, do you think in that sense you're making it all about you? You're not.
That's what I'm saying. That I am not making it all about me. So I get what this thing means. I'm not one of those people who believes it, although I can see how some people believe that other people believe that things are all about them, and they think it's very difficult to accept that things are all about. I'm way past that. Yeah. So, but we're going through them for the benefit of you guys, right? Who might think that it's all about you.
Yeah. Guys, it's all about you. We are grateful that you would have kept up with us. You would have subscribed. You keep watching us every morning, or you watch us when you can. If you can't catch us at work, you still watch us. Oh my God, I love that.
No, I think that you should.
It's all about you.
I think you should have said that before we did the segment with the eyes, because now they're reading you.
No, not at all. They love us, man.
All right. So here, it's sometimes difficult to accept that things are not all about us because our feelings are all that we know and experience. So when we're coming from that place, we're operating based on that. So yeah, you might think it's all about you. Again, I'm so past this, but in any event, what are you?
It's all about you. I'm thinking about the song that we sing in church. So the importance of taking a step back and looking at the world objectively rather than subjectively. Dun dun dun. So yeah, if you are beginning to go into that enough bushy space, take a step back. Just remember that we all go to the same place at some point in our lives, and yeah, we just need to calm down. Rima sang the song for you. Calm down. Yeah.
But again, it comes with maturity, experience, the ability to look at things objectively, because as I said before, for some people, our feelings are the first thing we know, and unfortunately the only thing that we know. So we're approaching things from our perspective, and in that way it becomes all about us. And really, it's like, can everybody take a step back and look at things objectively? Not everybody can do that. And even in doing that, there are different degrees of objectivity, because I might be going this far, you might be going further, and vice versa, right? So it takes skill to appreciate where people could potentially be coming from, thinking about things objectively and not making things all about you or me.
Wow. We live in a tough world.
Yeah, why?
Because we have to be considerate of not only ourselves, but of the things and people around us. Because people are the ones that hurt the most. I would say animals thereafter, because we don't really beat up on animals like that, but people are the ones that hurt the most. And I don't mean physically beat up, but you know, when we put things out on the internet about people, when we spread gossip about people, when at work only one person gets the glory and you know you're doing your utmost best and you're not being recognized because maybe that of how it's going. And then some people admire people to want to actually look like them or wish they were them, and not admire them to be like, oh my gosh, you're doing such a great job and blah blah blah, etc., etc. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So,
you see that one? Have you accepted this harsh truth as yet? Are you kidding me? What did I say?
Yeah, it's not about us.
All right, so here we go. How do you make sure that you understand that things are not all about you? Try not to take everything personally. Try to see things from the other person's perspective. But you know what? It takes understanding to do that. It takes some effort, so you have to be willing to put yourself in the position of the other person as far as you know it. And sometimes in order to get there, you need to dialogue with that person, or perhaps you could potentially observe. You don't necessarily need to dialogue, you could observe. What does one person see that I don't see? And maybe that's informing why they're behaving that way, or why they're saying something that's different from what I'm saying when I'm coming across potentially like it's all about me, because I'm not being considerate of that other perspective.
I like the part where you said about dialogue, because I think it makes more sense. Because as I said, sometimes we have friends and they make us people hate even before we get to know the people. So it's better to speak to someone, understand what they're going through, as you said, and don't just judge them because of how they come off. Because we don't know, there may be a lot of underlying causes under there.
Are you kidding? Don't judge. Are you kidding me? Don't judge. We live in St. Kitts and Nevis. That's the first thing that we do.
But that was one of our topics this week.
And we open our mouth and we spew
school children
the things that we put or ought to put in the garbage bin without verification, because we're so convinced that we know, and we are pompous with it, and we put on a show, and guess what? It doesn't work for you, does it? Wow. Because you're so confident in your ignorance. You're blissfully confident, are you not? Because everything has to be according to you. Wow, brilliant. And by brilliant, actually, I mean the opposite, but hey.
Yes, you see? Folks, have a conversation. Have a conversation with the person. Have a conversation. Have a conversation. That part stood out to me.
Didn't I say already, and I keep saying it here when we have these discussions, I say it all the time. I don't talk a lot. It seems weird. I know for some of you it might seem very weird unless you observe and you realize, really, I don't talk a lot, right? I always said, when people are talking, and I grew up thinking this, and this is just something that I've tried to model for myself. Maybe I'm modeling it for you. I don't know. Don't really want to, because I don't want it to be all about me. In any event, I say when people are talking, generally, and when I say talking, they're not asking questions, they're talking. They're talking about what they already know, so there's not an opportunity to learn. When people are quiet and listening, that's when they can observe and take in what they don't already know. So there is more opportunity for learning when you are listening. And when we're talking about things not being all about us, if you would apply that and observe, listen instead of talking, you might actually pick up on a lot of things that you wouldn't pick up on otherwise.
Yeah.
And it would get you not to believe that everything is about you because you'd notice what's going on around you.
Yeah. By talking and listening and observing, quite important factors. They sure are.
Yeah, but we know it's harsh because everything ought to be out. But never mind. Like I said, I'm so past that, Hortensia.
Yeah. How about missing the opportunities to be empathetic towards others? Like, we don't put ourselves in each other's shoes at all. Like, you may have had somebody died, right? And your grieving process was pretty short, but mine's longer. And you're like, but look, I got over my grandpa or my uncle or whatever. But then look at you, what's wrong with you? Why you can't get over that person? They're gone. Hopefully you're gonna see them one day anyways, if they died in the Lord, but you're not empathetic at all. And like, it doesn't take that long for somebody to grieve somebody who died. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then the next part is not like you were close to them whilst they were on earth anyways. Oh, did you just say that?
Yeah.
Not empathetic at all.
See, how are you going to be when you're judging?
Yeah.
And you're judging by your own standards.
Or the person that has a kid, Jamie, that can't make it to work early every day, and you have a kid too, right? But you want to say, but oh, I have 3 kids, and look, I could do it. What's wrong with you? But you physically do not know what that person has to go through to get to work.
Can I break it to you? Guess what?
They don't care.
Oh, you got it. I was going to say, they don't care. They don't. It's like, and that's the thing. Should they? I don't know. I really don't know if you should care or not.
We should be
about
empathetic
things like that.
about some things, or maybe everything. We live in an unkind world, guys. We need to be kind.
No, I think do I classify as an empath? Possibly. But I can be.
Correct.
Yeah, but I you have to manage it though, because you can't be taking in everybody's feeling and everybody's energy. Yeah, you can care, but it's just too much after a while. So you've got to know what your limits are, and it doesn't mean that you're not going to realize that things are not all about you.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, really. Like, seriously, I don't understand how these people do this. Some people compete for the spotlight. Some people want to do things
everything
consistently. True story. I have been trying. These guys here can tell you. I joke about it just about every day, and sometimes I'm more serious than not. I say, come up here today. I'll take your place. Do what I do. Come in front of the camera. Come on. Do you think I want to do? I'm actually, my personality is just so, But again, it's not all about me. Why am I doing this? I don't know. For you guys, because it's 300, right? For you guys.
300, yeah.
Wow.
And Jamie, you've been here since the inception, so yeah.
December 6th, 2021.
Yeah, 300. And oh my gosh, what about the other one? Being too self-focused can cause you to lose valued relationships, yeah. Because when you rise and you think you're better than everybody and you forget where you came from, you no longer come back to the ghetto and give the little kids a little food, or you don't build them no school, or you don't build them no hospital, nothing. What's that? There's this football player boy. Have you seen his phone? I think is he from Senegal? I want to say the right thing. I love his complexion. Smooth, dark guy. You know what he says? He says he don't need anything with a name brand. His phone screen is cracked. It has not been updated. And he says what he uses his money for? To feed the kids, to build hospitals, and to build schools. That is somebody that, although he's so big and they run him down when he goes home, it's not about him. He says he's doing this for his people. And he has that realization that although he can have these expensive cars and these big houses and all of that, the life that he's been given to help others, he's ensuring that he's doing it and not making it about him.
That's great, because those things keep you grounded. And being grounded is one of those things that is just so valuable to me as an individual. I think it would be valuable to everybody because it keeps things real for you. You were never too big. You were never too large. You were never too important.
Exactly.
You know, who needs that? Really, who does?
To be kind, yeah.
So don't make it all about you guys.
Please don't make it all about you. That's it.
That's it. It's a wrap.
With that said, as Jamie said, it's a wrap. Stay tuned, much more on our 300th episode.
Welcome to another Infused Friday, and we have another amazing infused water recipe for you today, which is mango, papaya and pineapple. So let's get into just some of the benefits of this fine selection of fruit. Mango juice is full of potassium and magnesium. the two compounds that regulate blood pressure in the body. Consuming mango juice daily can help one keep fit and maintain blood pressure and keep hypertension in check. Drinking mango juice also makes sure there is enough fluid in the body to keep it balanced. Did you know that mangoes are good for your eyes, improves immunity, great for digestion, helps fight cholesterol and may burn fat and reduces acne? Papayas contain high levels of antioxidants, vitamin A, vitamin C and vitamin E. Diets high in antioxidants may reduce the risk of heart disease. The antioxidants prevent the oxidation of cholesterol. When cholesterol oxidizes, it's more likely to create blockages that lead to heart disease. And finally, pineapple, rich in vitamin C and manganese, which promotes healthy bones. Pineapple is packed with disease-fighting antioxidants. Thanks to the antioxidants, pineapple has cancer-fighting properties. In addition, pineapples can aid digestion and assist in weight loss. Now for the ingredients. You need 1/4 cup of papaya, 1 cup of mango, 1/4 cup of pineapple, 1/2 cup of ice and 12 ounces of cold water. Directions: wash fruits well, chop and slice ingredients and add to a large jar or jug of iced water. Stir and serve in tall glasses. Refreshing. Add more to your H2O. Check out the Facebook page every Friday for refreshing infused water recipes.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It is finally the weekend. Yes, it is.
Friday.
That's what I was looking forward to. So it is finally the weekend. And when this time comes around, we love to have fun conversations here on Good Morning SKN. It's only on Friday? Do you see my eyes? Am I lying? Is it only on Friday? You guys know? All right. So let's have a fun
Yeah, somebody didn't tell the truth now.
Let's have a fun conversation. We apologize if we bored you with all the others that we did from Monday to Thursday.
No, man,
all right.
we had some good ones.
So what are your least favorite foods?
Lobster. Yep, I said it. Pasta. I said it. Soup. I said it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you were going down that list, and you and everybody else would probably be surprised to know that many people around the world hate the same foods. So in this segment of It's Friday, we'll be looking at some of the most commonly hated foods worldwide.
Pizza.
Hopefully, none of your favorites make the list. But you know what? If they make the list, you shouldn't care because it's not all about you anyway, like we just said.
It's not all about you. Look at this. It runs. It connects. It coincides. It is not all about us. Yep.
Well, that's why we're looking at other people and what they hate. I didn't ask you personally, did I?
Yeah.
So.
But see, I started giving mine like I was asked. Oh my gosh.
Well, I asked you.
It's obviously I didn't learn my lesson.
Oh, please.
Just joking. Oh, Brussels sprouts. Nah, these are actually good. You like them?
I don't think I've ever had them.
This is nice, especially when you bake them up with some nice olive oil and you sprinkle on your fresh season. Listen, thebomb.com. But kids don't like no Brussels sprouts. These are, I call them baby cabbage. These are like an embryo cabbage. Because they're just getting there. They have not birthed fully as yet.
Okay, we'll leave it there.
I gotta look. Look at them, baby cabbages.
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. Kids don't like these. Eat your Brussels sprouts. No, just make them nice and they'll love them. But they're best eaten roasted. Yeah. Jeez. Now I'm thinking about food again. Hunger is stepping in. I love liver.
Liver is actually good.
Yeah, liver stew is thebomb.com with some nice potatoes and some carrots in there.
I can see why people wouldn't like it. I really can. I think it's an acquired taste. But
It's true.
I like it. I like it.
And when I used to cut it up as a kid when your mom gave you kitchen chores, shaking it like Jell-O, because you know you have that effect. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, when I saw it without reading it, I thought it was some sort of dessert. So it doesn't look like it, doesn't it?
Initially, I thought it was meat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Liver. See, and they have all the seasonings around it. Ooh, look the basil, look the onion. Oh, ooh la la. They're making me hungry now for liver stew. With potatoes, Irish potatoes to be exact, and some carrots that are cut in a circular shape. Stew down with some pepper flakes. Oh no, Christian says stop. Okay. Yeah.
It's Friday. Somebody's hungry. Marzipan? Marzipan.
This is it's made from a nut, right? Yeah, I don't think it's an acquired taste. I don't think, no.
Yeah, okay.
That I'll slip by. No.
Marzipan.
So, like the rest of the world who hates it, you have one more fan.
Can't say that I've ever had it, so there you go.
Morzi.
Man. This is one of my favorite things in life.
Olives?
These are one of my favorite things in life, right?
No, you cannot hate olives. Olives are the
absolute
bomb.
favorite things
in
life.
In England, there's this food chain called Nando's, right? And Nando's pickles these olives and these garlics together. And when you eat them, you cannot believe you're eating raw garlic with olives because, Jamie, the taste is impeccable. My mouth is salivating.
Yeah, so you forget the fact that you're eating raw garlic. Never mind.
Yes,
all right.
but it's that good. It's that saturated in whatever they put it in. Oh my God. Okay, attention back to earth. No more food things.
Olives. I'm gonna pick some up after today's show. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Blue cheese. That's one of my favorite dressings. So I love me some blue cheese, and I like eating them just like that too.
Same.
Yeah. The only cheese I don't think I love is goat cheese because it's more like goat, and sometimes I actually feel like I'm eating raw goat. So yeah, that's the cheese I don't like. Goat cheese. It smells like goat for real. You know what? I'm gonna bring you some goat cheese. I'm gonna just buy some goat cheese for you to smell this goat cheese. You actually feel you're eating goat with its skin on, with the fur and everything. I don't like the vibe. Goat cheese gets a no.
All right. There's nothing I have to say to that.
So what about blue cheese? Like blue cheese now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I like it. I do, actually.
Do you realize you're eating fungus though? Okay.
No, I didn't. But hey.
Yeah.
Some are good, right?
Yeah.
Blue cheese.
Ooh, who don't love a good sushi?
Like the time when I deconstructed it? Yeah, alrighty.
I love sushi. Love. Oh my gosh. Why on a Good Friday when my belly's like turning up? It's like hungry. Wow. Maybe I'm hungry, man. I want that one. Where's the soy sauce?
Hey, don't blame me. Blame the team. They're showing you food and not giving you any.
I want the whole tray. Oh my gosh, that salmon looks so good.
You guys are going to get into trouble. You're showing Hortensia food that you were not allowing her to have.
I know.
All right.
Oh my god.
Sushi.
Now y'all gonna make me want pizza, boy. I gotta go over to Ritual Sushis, man. Give me some sushis right after this. I think I have an appointment over there, so I'm definitely gonna get some sushi to eat while I wait. Boop. Yeah.
And this is where I love to say this all the time. Free advert alert.
Indeed. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Oh man.
Well, you guys can check out the interview that we did with Kenneth Bob anyway.
Yep, indeed.
When I deconstructed the sushi. Yeah. Who doesn't love this though?
I know.
Okra?
See, it is spring. Do you know you can eat it raw too?
Yeah, but I wouldn't try it.
I actually do. I soak it overnight. I drink the water in the morning, and I crunch up the okra in my mouth.
Okay, I take it back. I can understand why people wouldn't like it.
Because the slime?
I could understand why people wouldn't like it.
But?
I never used to like it. But, you know, when grandma's cooking for you and that's your only option, you've got to love it or learn to love it, which I eventually did learn to love it, so I love it now.
So she cooked it with corn or she cooked it in a stew?
With corn.
Okay, because in Guyana we stew everything, so we stew okra. I'm bad at stewing okra. And then you know what you do to get rid of that slime? For those persons who don't, you can put in a spoon of vinegar or you can squeeze some lemon. Your okra will be okra slime free, or you can over fry it. So you fry it to begin with and then you fry it again. Yeah.
I don't like the frying part. Too much oil, too much grease, right?
But then you drain it though.
Because
you drain it the first time and then you fry it again. So once you fry it like that, you get rid of all the slime. But okra is nice. That and some white rice with some shrimp or some saltfish. Yo, what are y'all doing to me this morning? I'm hungry.
It's not me. It's not about me. It's about that. It's your fault. I accept no responsibility for this.
Yeah, but okra is nice. I tried eating corn the other day when I cook it, although my corn is good, but I couldn't really digest it that much.
No, you guys, no.
Yeah, some people don't like raisins.
This should not be on that list.
Yeah, some people don't like raisins.
This should not be on that list at all.
I put raisins in my coleslaw. I put raisins in my oatmeal. I put raisins in my cream of wheat. I just love me some raisins. Yeah. That's my whole point. They would eat grapes, so why not the raisins? It's just dry grapes. What's wrong with them?
I love raisins.
Love.
I can't believe there are people who don't love raisins.
They need lashes.
This is great. Yeah. Anyway, there's more for me. Whatever
exactly.
You don't love.
Thank you.
Probably more for the people who actually do love these things.
Who doesn't love?
What do you mean, who doesn't love?
Who doesn't love a black food? See, I don't eat the one with the blood anymore. When I was younger, my grand in Guyana, she used to make it, and we had to be extremely quiet because she said if you talk too much, it will bust out in the pot.
Oh, that's what she said?
Yeah.
If you talk too much.
No, if we, all of us kids in the house.
Talk to, and you believe that,
It's
right?
not about me. Yeah, we believe that. But, you know, she showed us that sometimes it's busted out in the bottom of the pot. So I don't know if she brainwashed us as kids, because we were kids then. But
she just wanted you to be quiet, Coach MC. That's all it was. She's like, be quiet.
Gran, I rebuke you, although I can't rebuke you because you've left me so many years ago. But yeah, and then we make this mango sour thing with green mangoes. We boil them, we mash them with garlic and cumin and masala, and we add a little salt, a little MSG, and lots of pepper. And then when you dip that in there,
all right.
This is punishment, man.
So here's what's going to happen, right?
This is my punishment today.
Here's what's going to happen. Who wants to see Hortensia have a segment where she actually cooks these things? Cooktop, whatever. And I will be sitting down there while you are cooking
Jimmy,
up
you're going to
here.
have me cut up some stuff.
And that works. Does that work? Am I getting a green light? I'm not getting any light. Red light, green light. Okay, okay, great. I got two green lights.
Man.
So that's a go at some point.
But I have a friend that makes some really nice brown pudding, so I don't have to eat that because I don't eat that anymore. Because once I understood what was in there, no.
Hey, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's what we say growing up in this part of the world, right?
Okay, sir. I'll go with you.
That's what we say. It doesn't kill you. It makes you stronger. And it tastes good.
Yeah. But a lot of religious people don't eat it though. So yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I heard the story, well, it was a joke that I heard somebody say, but people saying that they don't eat pigs.
Oh, because of the demon.
Yeah. And then you walk outside and you get run down by a truck carrying a bunch of pigs.
How ironic, Jinkies.
I'm not wishing that for you. No way. I haven't seen any pigs being transported for a while, so the probability of that is going to be like...
I haven't seen the pigs even on the Frigate Bay Road. You remember when they used to be running wild? And,
no,
oh
I don't remember that.
Those poor guys used to get knocked on, you know, right where is it Sugar Bay, the apartments? Pigs used to always be around that area, Jamie, and some of them got knocked down. Oh my gosh, I felt so bad for the little piggies. Oh,
no,
but I've not seen them since.
Why were they hanging around?
They came out of the bush, so that means there was somebody pig that was up in maybe a corral that they escaped from.
Wow.
And once they run across the road, sometimes people are going so fast, you see that little piggy definitely cry wee wee wee. He didn't get back home, but I felt for those piggies. I think they even had a little thing going for them where it was, I think somebody had a program like, be careful with the pig.
I can't keep a straight face when you're saying that, okay?
Aww.
That it didn't make it all the way back home. All right, well, tofu.
Yeah, I like that. You?
I think I tasted it once.
Seasoned right, cooked right, barbecued right.
No.
Lovely. My sister's an expert at cooking tofu, yo.
Oh, yeah?
You would think you're eating meat. Because she's vegan.
I would ask a question, but then I know that I know the answer already. I love that. You would think you're eating meat, and I go, well, why not just eat meat? But I know the answer already because there are some people who just don't eat meat.
Yeah.
But you want the taste, which is fine. It's healthier. It's a healthier option.
Yeah.
I get it.
And it's from soybeans. So it's a good thing. Who doesn't like mayo?
No,
and now there's even veganese that tastes just as good as mayo, y'all.
Really?
Yeah.
Veganese.
Veganese, yeah, it tastes just as good as mayo.
Veganese.
And it even has a tang, like a tart. Oh, you don't know.
I didn't know about veganese.
No, you know.
I knew about mayonnaise.
There's veganese, yo.
All right.
Tasting lovely. I'm trying to remember the brand, but I know I shouldn't be promoting brands yet.
Well, there's a vegan option for a lot of things.
Yeah. Veganaids.com. No, I don't like this at all. The aftertaste. Do you know it have a lingering aftertaste?
No, because I've never had it.
It's terrible. It hurts my head. I don't like licorice. You can't pay me enough to eat that.
Are you sure? Is that a bet? Guys, are you listening?
It's terrible. It tastes like it has more salt in it. Sometimes I wonder if it's molasses and just tar and something, because it's not nice. I don't know. I mean, you shouldn't eat tar.
So I gave you a fun segment before. Can I give you another idea right now? How many of these can Cortensia eat?
Licorice?
I'm kidding. I would never do that.
Oh! No!
I would never do that.
Oh. No, I thought you meant how much. Why? It doesn't taste right, Jamie. It tastes to me. So I can join with the masses that don't like licorice. Yeah. Oh.
Alrighty.
Ooh, I love me some pickles. Don't you love pickles?
One of my favorites. I don't know how you got olives and pickles up there. I don't understand. What is going on with you people? Really?
And you see those pickles look like they are soaked with some chili peppers. Oh! Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. I love pickles.
This is so great. I want to pick up some now after. I want to pick me some pickles.
And olives.
Pick me up some pickles.
Pickles are nice. And I like to buy the big ones sometimes, so me and my sisters pretend we're doing the Vlasic commercial.
Oh yeah, the classic Vlasic commercial.
Yep. Man, I always ask for extra pickles on my stuff when I go to places that offer that option. Who doesn't like pickles?
I can't believe you guys don't like pickles. Oh my god.
Even on buffets, I swear I murder the pickle bowl. Wow.
Wow, this is great. That you don't like it because I get more. All right.
Then need to let us know in the comments, guys, which of these foods you don't like and which of the food you like.
And you'll do that as we go to a break.
Welcome to another edition of Infused Friday. We have another great infused water recipe for you to try out. Pineapple and sweet red bell pepper. I know what you're thinking, but this will bring a pep in your step. Here are some of the benefits you may experience from this exotic combination. Pineapple juice is rich in a variety of vitamins and minerals. It's especially packed with manganese, copper, vitamin B6 and vitamin C, all of which play important roles in the proper functioning of your body. Red capsicum or red bell pepper contains lycopene and a phytonutrient which helps to keep a healthy heart. It is also a rich source of folate and vitamin B6 along with antioxidants known to protect the body against free radicals. I know you cannot wait to try out this amazing fruit and vegetable infusion. Let's get you started with the following ingredients. You will need 6 pineapple cubes, 6 red capsicum cubes, enough fresh water to fill your jug or bottle. And the directions. Remember to wash your ingredients well. Chop and slice ingredients as necessary. Add to ingredients to a large jug or bottle. Stir ingredients and add fresh water and stir. Let it infuse, settle, and then serve into tall glasses. Can you taste the goodness already? Add more to your H2O. Check out the Facebook page every Friday for refreshing infused water recipes. Welcome to another Infused Friday, and we have another amazing infused water recipe for you today, which is mango, papaya and pineapple. So let's get into just some of the benefits of this fine selection of fruit. Mango juice is full of potassium and magnesium, the two compounds that regulate blood pressure in the body. Consuming mango juice daily can help one keep fit and maintain blood pressure and keep hypertension in check. Drinking mango juice also makes sure there is enough fluid in the body to keep it balanced. Did you know that mangoes are good for your eyes, improves immunity, great for digestion, helps fight cholesterol and may burn fat and reduces acne? Papayas contain high levels of antioxidants, vitamin A, vitamin C and vitamin E. Diets high in antioxidants may reduce the risk of heart disease. The antioxidants prevent the oxidation of cholesterol. When cholesterol oxidizes, it's more likely to create blockages that lead to heart disease. And finally, pineapple, rich in vitamin C and manganese, which promotes healthy bones. Pineapple is packed with disease-fighting antioxidants. Thanks to the antioxidants, pineapple has cancer-fighting properties. In addition, pineapples can aid digestion and assist in weight loss. Now for the ingredients. You need 1/4 cup of papaya, 1 cup of mango, 1/4 cup of pineapple, 1/2 cup of ice and 12 ounces of cold water. Directions: wash fruits well, chop and slice ingredients and add to a large jar or jug of iced water. Stir and serve in tall glasses. Refreshing. Add more to your H2O. Check out the Facebook page every Friday for refreshing infused water recipes.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Good morning. This is Karen of Paris and it's Paul from Paris, Vermont. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
It's time for Caribbean Connections, and joining us today from the lovely island of Trinidad is Mariel Brown, co-founder and festival head of FilmCo. Mariel is committed to uncovering and documenting the Caribbean's rich history and culture and is especially interested in exploring the lives of its often unheralded artists and writers. Welcome to Good Morning SKN, Mariel.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.
Well, it is definitely our pleasure, and anytime that we get to engage with artists, especially artists of your caliber, it's a great experience for us. And I'm very curious right now as to how you got into film. When and how did your career begin?
Well, actually, it was kind of a sort of circuitous route. I went to the University of West Indies in Trinidad, and I did a degree in literatures and English. And when I was graduating, I was looking for a job, and a friend of mine who worked at TTT, Trinidad and Tobago Television, told me about a job that was going at TTT as a junior reporter. I had not done any work in television or film. It was nowhere on my radar. But I needed a job. So I applied and I did the interview and I got the job. And then, but what I discovered, I worked at TTT for 2 years as a reporter. I taught myself how to edit. And I just fell in love with the medium. I just loved television. But I hated news. It was, I think that the immediacy of news coverage was too much for me. And, as you guys work on television as well, that the thing about news is that you have this news cycle and then you can't really take the time to, it's not often that you get the time to explore something in depth or to really to go underneath the story and figure things out. And so I left TTT after 2 years. And then I just tried to, because I'd realized at this point that I loved television, I came up with a television show idea. And I just decided, well, I can cook. I can't afford to pay a host. I just sort of sat down and wrote an outline for Sankosh and came up with a budget. Actually the older heads in television who I spoke to about it at the time basically said, you'll never be able to do it for this budget. And I did. And I did 6 seasons of Sankosh. I fundraised for it myself. And it was a totally independent production. I did 96 episodes. And that really was how I got into film and television. So while I was shooting Sankosh, I started working on my first sort of documentary series called it was called Making Mass with Brian McFarlane, which was a 6-part series looking at the making of a carnival band, it's almost like a fly on the wall / reality kind of program.
Okay.
And it took us through every week in the lead up to launching and then producing a carnival band. And then from that, I decided to do a re-edit and do a feature-length version of the film. So it was a series and then it was a film. And that was how I got into it.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. So what was your first film project, Marielle?
Well, it was The Insatiable Season, which was so of course the thing about creating stuff for television is that, you're on this wheel. And again, you find yourself almost in a similar kind of situation as you do with news, where once the show is on the air, it's unrelenting. You just produce, you edit, you shoot, you edit, you're on the air, you shoot, yeah. So because we were trying to air the series almost in real time, i.e. to kind of coincide with the actual stages of Carnival, it was a highly pressured situation. And again, didn't have time to really assess. But what I found was you shoot all this footage and then you're creating these programs on a weekly basis. And what I found was that with the benefit of time to review the footage, the story I wanted to tell was slightly different with a different focus. And yeah, so I basically raised a bit of money from what was the Trinidad and Tobago Film Company and to re-edit it. So to basically make one film, and I created a different focus. And yeah, that was my first documentary. My documentary film. I'd done documentary features for TTT and news and things like that, but this was like my first standalone film.
And how did you feel about that? The feedback for it? Was there anything at all that was challenging about it other than fundraising?
Well, no, I mean, I was very lucky in that I had pitched the series to TV6 and they were the executive producer, right? So that they had funded, I mean, of course, in retrospect, I understand that I wish I'd written my budgets to be much higher. But at the time, I was basically just interested in making things, you know. But they funded the production of the television series and they retained the rights to that series, right? So I'd actually done all the shooting. So, I mean, people think that shooting at carnival time must be so much fun, but it really isn't because you're working and everybody else is having fun and liming and dancing and drinking and chipping. And then they think it's great because they come and wind up on you and the cameraman. You while you're trying to shoot, you are basically walking because you're not there to play carnival.
Yes.
So, I mean, I suppose and kind of shooting at carnival time was a revelation for me. Like, I didn't really know what it was like because I was a masquerader. I always used to play carnival with Minchel. So actually working at carnival is very hard. And huge props go out to everybody who does it year in, year out, because it's really challenging. So no, I mean, I suppose the thing was that I never went to film school. So I was just learning as I went, you know. I was learning as I went. I was learning how to construct a story, what an arc, a story arc might look like. And so I sort of give myself permission as a creative person to learn more with every project. And I think that's okay. So I'm proud of Insatiable Season because it's what I did when I made it. It was the very best that I could do. And my skill has grown since then. But I think it's a wonderful romp into the incredible world of making carnival.
You said you were self-taught, Marielle. What are some of the challenges you would have encountered being a self-taught individual in this field? And another question I would have for you, what is your favorite role, producer or director?
Okay, I'm self-taught. Okay, so, I mean, I suppose the thing about being self-taught is it takes you longer to figure things out because you haven't learned them in school. You're learning them as you go. So it takes you longer to sort of figure out, oh, actually, this is why this happens, or this is why I need that. And so you're kind of really sort of figuring out as you go. And sometimes that can be painful because it means that there are key pieces of information that you don't have that you actually need to be able to succeed at all stages of a project, whether it's at the development or when you're coming up with the idea or when you're going into production. Like, I remember realizing in my first season of Sankosh, for the first 2 seasons of Sankosh, we had only 1 camera. And it was a 2 to 3 camera shoot. So we shot every single setup twice, once on the wide and once on the medium or close up. So it was like, that was a key learning experience for me. It was exhausting, but we couldn't afford to buy another camera and I wasn't prepared to rent another camera. So that was hard, you know. Also, another thing that I learned, these are things that you just don't realize, like actually setting up lights well is a very time-consuming process. And so when you're scheduling your shoots, you go, and of course, you know, we live in the Caribbean. It's not like we have access to these massive grip trucks with, you know, 100 lights. We have 5 lights or 4 lights, you know what I mean? And so if you're going to be on set in the morning and go to a location in the afternoon, you're breaking down the lights from your set and taking them to the location in the afternoon, all of which is incredibly time consuming. So like I learned like how to do a schedule. I also learned my first day because I thought, okay, we're doing a cooking show. The crew will just eat everything I cook and that'll be what they eat. And I had a damn near mutiny on my first day of shooting because I hadn't provided lunch. And the crew felt it was unfair, rightly so, that they would, eat what I was cooking 3 hours after it was cooked. You know what I mean? So, I mean, these are lessons you learn very, very quickly and sometimes painfully, but so television and film, they're very demanding mediums. And of course, the thing is that you're working on them with a team. You cannot do it by yourself. And so figuring out how to build a team around what you're trying to do that supports your vision and believes in what you're trying to do is really important. It's not just a work and a check for them.
Yeah.
It's really important when you're working on things and you're new to something that you get people on who will believe in you and support you and be patient with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I've had many challenges, but certainly I think that kind of learning on the fly is exciting, but it's also difficult.
So, Marielle, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back to continue this engaging conversation with you afterward.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN as we continue our engaging conversation with Marielle Brown, co-founder and festival head of Philco. So Marielle, I asked you before, what is your favorite role, producer or a director?
I mean, for me, it's really hard to sort of separate them out because from the get-go, I was always doing both. I suppose that's also one of the challenges that we have in the Caribbean, that often we have people who want to make films and they don't know how to get the money, or they don't know any producers, so they just start producing themselves. So for me, I enjoy both. It's a blessing and a curse that I was raised by a very competent mother and come from a family of very competent women, so I can do it. But I love directing. And I also love editing. I adore editing. The thing about it is that it's all a creative process. Even producing, you're being creative all the time, because you're constantly trying to solve for different problems that arise. Yeah, I think I enjoy all of it, to be honest. I wish that it was easier to raise money in the Caribbean for films. And I wish I didn't have to spend quite so much time on that aspect, but I love all of it.
Mariella, I'd like to focus a bit more on some of the projects that you did, and one in particular stands out to me because I think it's, based on your description, a personal exploration of your tumultuous relationship with your late father, writer Wayne Brown, and it's called Unfinished Sentences.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that?
Well, my father died in 2009, and thank you. He was actually a very, very well-respected writer and poet in the Caribbean space, and his work is taught at CXC, and he wrote a column for 30 years, which appeared in the Trinidad and Tobago Press and then appeared regionally as well. And he was a larger-than-life man. He was very flawed, but also a really special human being. And but he and I had a very contentious relationship. Particularly as I got older and was sort of in my teens and in my 20s, because we both, I was taking my own creative journey and really having to sort of find myself and face the consequences of the decisions that I was making, which for creative people can be really hard. In the Caribbean, if you decide to dedicate your life to creative pursuits, you are often saying that you accept that you'll never be able to buy a house because no bank is going to give you a mortgage. Or you're often saying that you accept that you will always have to buy secondhand cars because, again, it's going to be very hard for you to get a loan through the bank. And those are actually really substantial decisions that you don't often understand when you're making them at the very beginning. You don't understand how that will affect your life as you move forward and your friends are getting married and they're having children and they're settling into the house that they bought, and et cetera, et cetera. And so I think that I really struggled in my 20s and 30s with the realization that economically my life was going to be very different to the lives of friends and peers who had basically just decided to become a doctor or a lawyer, etc. And I raged against that for a long time. And of course, my father had to make the same decisions. So, and I remember as a child seeing him rage against that as well. So initially, after Daddy died, I started making what I thought was going to be a biographical film about him, which I felt he was worthy of. And I was interviewing all his friends and colleagues, and I had this terror that they were all going to die right away, because when you lose somebody so important in your life, I think it sort of ripples and resonates across all aspects of your life. And then I started sort of writing what it would be. And as I say, it was going to be a biography. But I kept putting it down, and the longer I was doing it, but like, so when people would come down to Boca Slit Fest in Trinidad, like I'd grab somebody, do an interview with them because, you know, they were Daddy's colleague, or they worked with him, or, you know, they were an editor, or they were a friend. And I kept doing these things, and then but I wasn't making any progress in the film, and I wasn't fundraising, and I just couldn't. I was trying to still wrap my head around it, because that's the thing about creative works, that if it's not a commissioned work, it's not a client telling you, I need a documentary about the Red House, you know, which is very specific. It's you saying, I am making a documentary about my father, and then you have to decide, what does that actually mean? And how do I make this into a story? And is this even going to be interesting to anybody? And then what is the focus? What am I focusing on? And why can't I get this story to come through given the focus that I have? And I realized over time that really the story my heart wanted to tell was the story of our relationship. And so I had to sort of just kind of really pull up my panties and or put on my, what does it say? Put on my big girl panties, and sort of just accept that that was what was going to happen. That I had never intended or wanted to be a part of the documentary. I was going to be like this dispassionate documentary filmmaker making this documentary about my father. But I realized that it didn't want to be that. My heart didn't want it to be that. And over time, I just settled into the idea that it would be a personal film and that I would be in the film. And I started to fundraise for that, thinking, who in the world is going to give me money for this? But I was able to actually, for the first time, raise my entire budget. Yeah. And I made the film. I mean, it was really hard at times. It was because you're also grieving. You're also sort of exercising your own demons. But I will always see Unfinished Sentences as a gift, because I feel it brought me much closer to my father. It helped me understand him better. It forced me to read his poetry and his writing in a way that I had never done when he was alive. And I really came to know him.
Ariel, thank you for sharing that. Unfortunately, we have to leave it there, but I am going to ask at some point in the future. I feel like we've barely touched the surface here. We could continue this interview when it's mutually convenient, but we want to thank you.
Absolutely.
For your time.
I would be happy to. Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Thank you again. And thank you guys for joining us today for another edition of GMSKN. Of course, you know where to reach us. We're on Studio 327 Inc. on our social media platforms. You guys in St. Martin and Trinidad and Tobago for watching. We say thank you as well.
And leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And we will see you on Monday. Have yourselves a great weekend when you will start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. See you on Monday.